Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm Dr. Jawad Ashraf, Assistant Professor in Institute of Computing, Kohar University of Science and Technology. Today I'm going to give you an introduction to ASP.MVC. We have already covered different aspects of PHP and a little bit about ASP as well. With the help of those concepts, you will be able to grab the concepts of ASP.NET MVC, inshallah. Today's lecture will be about the deliverable of the course. That would be a website which we will develop using MVC 5 and Entity Framework 6. I'm going to give you an introduction to MVC architecture pattern as well, and I'll guide you through the setting up of the environment of Visual Studio that will be used for the development of the website. We will mostly learn things from Microsoft resources. I have provided the link. You can follow this link to see where we will learn things from. And the link to a demo site is provided over here. You can follow this either from here or from here. As already I have told you that we are going to use MVC 5 and Entity Framework 6 for database operations. Let me give you a tour of this website, so we can understand that what we are going to develop and what will be the end product of this course. So let's go to this website. This website, as I told you, that it is a fictitious university, Contoso University, and it is created by Microsoft for the sake of teaching. There are 4 important links in this website: students, courses, instructors, and departments. Let's go to each page one by one. Students page, it has different features in it. You can see that there's a delete all option, a create new option. From here you can create a new student. If you open this in a new tab, here is a facility to create the student, and over here you can see per row there is an option of edit, and then you can see the details of the student, and you can delete a single student. Other facility on this page is the filter or finding facility. If I want to search something, I can search from here. Say I want to search David or Davidane. You can see I applied the search and it searched for the Davidane in the records. Other thing that I can do is I can apply sorting on the basis of name, or sorting on the basis of enrollment date, or if I want to edit this, I can do that as well. So let's see what's in the courses page. In courses page, we have similar facilities. We can create a new course, we can edit individual records, or we can see the details or delete them. The difference is different from student page is that it can give you a filtered set of courses depending upon the department. Say if I want to see the computer science courses, I can apply the filter and I can get the courses of only computer science department. The interesting part of courses is if you want to edit a course or you create a course, here you have to assign a department to that course. This is a little tricky, little difficult as compared to the addition of students. In case of student, you don't have to specify anything else other than student name and enrollment date. But in case of courses, you need to specify that what department this course belongs to. So this is a little tougher than student model or student entity. Next entity of this website is instructor. In instructor, again, you can do the similar operations as you have seen in case of courses of student, but there is a little difference as compared to other entities, is that when you select the instructor, you can see the courses this instructor is teaching, and if you select that course, you can further see other details that are related to this course, that how many students or which student is enrolled in this course. The trickier part of this entity is to create or edit the instructor. Let's see, if I edit this instructor, I have multiple options over here. I can modify it, his last name, first name, hire date, office location, which is simply a text. But the complicated part of this page is the assignment and unassignment of the courses that a teacher is going to teach. This is going to be the most difficult portion of the course. So inshallah, when the time will come, we will understand how this thing is working. And now let's move to the next entity, that is departments. It is not that much difficult, somehow identical to courses. As you can see, you can assign an administrator to a department. So hopefully, inshallah, we will be able to complete this website at the end of this course, and we might go for something different other than this website. Inshallah, that would be an assignment or a term project for you for this semester, inshallah. Okay, now that we have seen the demo of the website that we are going to develop at the end of this course, now let's get familiar with the architectural pattern of MVC. MVC stands for Model View Controller, and this pattern was designed in 1970s, and then it was widely adopted in web environment as well. MVC pattern separates different components of a software from each other for the sake of better maintenance of the software. ASP.NET MVC is a framework that implements this architectural pattern, and there are other frameworks as well, like Laravel, Ruby on Rails, and Express. In MVC, model is the representation of application behavior. It stores the state of the application, and it is independent from the UI of the application. By UI, I mean the HTML part of the application. In our case, the website that we are going to develop, our domain model consists of student, teacher, course, department. These are different classes. These classes will have their own data members. They will have their own methods and actions, and different business rules will be applied to these different models. And these are called plain old CLR objects, or simple POCOs. CLR means Common Language Runtime. It is a term used in the .NET framework. In MVC, the view is responsible for displaying the data to the user, or you can say it is simply HTML markup that we have already seen in action. The next is controller, and controller is a very critical part of MVC, and it is responsible for handling an HTTP request. What does it mean? Say our website is hosted on Kamburu.net, and we want to go to the page student. What happens? Controller gets the data that is related to students and puts that data inside the model of student, and then sends that model to the view for the displaying purpose. Now, the business logic is, and the data retrieval, data access is the responsibility of controller. Model is responsible for handling data related operations, and view is responsible for displaying the data and getting information, getting input from the user. So this is sometimes referred to as separation of concern. Different components, different portions are separated based on a certain logic. And this concept helps in the better management of a website. As a website grows larger in size, this becomes very easier for a developer as compared to some old classic approaches to maintain the website. One thing that is not part of the MVC abbreviation that should have been router, because router is also a very critical part of the MVC architecture. As we just discussed, that when we access a URL, a certain controller executes some logic and then fills up the model and get you a view after that. But which controller is going to handle this request? It is responsibility of router to select the correct controller to handle the request. So router actually get the request through the URL, and based on the URL, the router knows that which controller to call, so it calls a student controller. And inside student controller, there are different methods, and in MVC, these methods are called actions. So actually, accurately, we can say that a certain action is responsible to handle the HTTP request. Now, after covering MVC at an introductory level, the next step is to create a website. For creating website, we are going to use Visual Studio 2019. You can use older version as well. 2017 would work as well. And the community version is free, so you can download it easily from a Microsoft website. And the resources that we are going to follow are provided by Microsoft. I'm going to take you to the website that we are going to follow throughout the course. This is the website that we are going to follow. Let me zoom in for you. We are going to cover different important factors, important features of MVC, including controller, view, model. And then we are going to work with the database as well. We'll understand that what a connection string is and how you can work with a local database in SQL Server. And then we will manipulate the data using model, and we'll apply searching, and we'll understand, we'll learn that how you can modify a field, add a new field to the databases or a table or a model, and we will learn validation as well. Other features that we are going to use throughout this course is the usage of Entity Framework 6. Entity Framework 6 helps you in different database related operations. It implements ORM concept. ORM concept, I'm going to talk about this one later in the course. And other thing that is a little bit might be different or might be new for you people is that there are two different approaches to develop a database website. One is the code first website, and the other is database first website. So this section will cover the code first approach, and this section will cover the database first approach. So we'll go into the details of these approaches soon, inshallah. Now let's go through the creation of first website. The instructions are very straightforward given on this page. Just open your Visual Studio and select the option of create new project. Before that, I should tell you that there is a need of certain packages or certain installations that must be performed to work on the websites. When you will be installing Visual Studio, at that time you will get an option of ASP.NET functionalities or features. So you must opt those options, otherwise you won't be able to develop a website using Visual Studio. Okay, now that you have created a new project or selected this option, you'll be taken to the window where you can choose what kind of project you want to create. Here in the option list, web is selected, and within web there are two more options: ASP.NET Core Web Application and ASP.NET Web Application. ASP.NET Core is the latest version of ASP.NET. We are not going to use this one. We will use this throughout our course, so we will choose this one. And over here, you can provide whatever name you want to give to your project. Could be my first application or whatever you like. In the next window, you are going to choose MVC. As you can see, there are different options. Website could be empty. It could be a web forms, which is an old version of ASP.NET, and you can choose MVC, API, single page application. Usually, you can see these kind of websites in the market, which are built using Angular or maybe React, and there are some other options as well. From here, you can select MVC. If you select MVC from here, this option will automatically be selected. Another thing that is critical in case if you want to create a website that can offer login information and that can perform different authentication and authorization operations, so you can choose it from here. For the moment, leave this option. We'll come to this later on, inshallah. The next, when you click the OK button, you will see this window. It means that your website is ready. Microsoft Visual Studio has prepared all the important things, all the building blocks that are necessary to create an MVC application, and you just need to run the application, and a basic skeleton of the website will be available for you. So when you run the application, you will see a simple page like this. This page is prepared using ASP.NET MVC framework, Entity framework, and Bootstrap CSS framework. You are already familiar with the Bootstrap framework because you worked on it, and simple HTML and other stuff. This website is responsive. By responsive, it means it is ready for mobile size screen as well. As you can see, the shrink size of the website is showing you the burger menu, which is indication that the website has changed its appearance, and it has adopted according to the size of the screen. The other thing that we are going to see is how we can deploy our application. There are different ways to deploy the application. We might go towards this option, Microsoft Azure, the cloud environment, which we can deploy our website, and we can deploy a website locally as well, and we can deploy on some other hosting. So inshallah, we will try all three options. I think this is enough for today's session. Let me wrap up this session. We went through the final website that we are going to develop. We did a tour of that, and then we learned that how MVC architecture works, what MVC architecture is, and we also learned that how to create a simple website using Visual Studio. In the next lecture, I'm going to talk about creation of controller, model, and view. See you in the next lecture, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.